Have you ever just sat at home and watched your dog do their normal routine around the house and think, why are they doing that? Today, we're hopefully going to discuss and find out some of those answers. Hey everyone, Michelle here.
Joe.
And we are VetMedics. We are a veterinary ambulance service. We are not a veterinary hospital. So we are here to assist you with an emergency and help your pet get to their veterinarian in case of an emergency when you are unable to do so. Joe, have you ever looked at your dog and just be like, why are you doing that? Why?
Well, like what? Like doing what? Like what do you mean?
Sniffing your crotch.
Ah. Well,
why do they do that?
Get tired of sniffing the bug and they go around to the other side. It can be painful.
Yeah, and I do pet sitting. As everybody knows, I board dogs at my house, and sometimes there'll be 6 or 7, and you walk out, and they're just like bumping you from the front and the back.
Well, I mean, if you look at dogs, this is how dogs interact with each other, how they meet each other, how they learn about each other.
They do sniff each other's
They've
butts
got,
all the time.
they live in this whole huge world of scent that we're completely oblivious to. And so they're doing the same thing with us. They can learn,
True.
Maybe not to do it as much with us.
I'm glad I'm not a guy.
In that way you should be.
So basically, dogs really have a heightened sense of smell. Their sense of smell is so much stronger than ours. So I guess is what you're saying, is that how they explore their world and learn about things? And
I think everyone knows dogs have this incredible sense of smell. They can be used to find lost people, to track criminals, to find drugs. But
even COVID now.
That's right. They're being COVID, cancer. They're being trained to detect
seizures,
all these different things. So scents to them are extremely specific, but for us to really understand and think about, they live in this whole world that we're completely unaware of. So, if you're cooking a nice dish and I come in and I say, wow, that smells good, a dog will come in, a dog can literally detect the scent of every individual ingredient in that dish. They live in a world, I like to do a little very basic scent training with my dogs just because it gives them something to do.
Sure.
So people think it's amazing. Gee, if I take my keys, my cell phone.
Too.
Yes, right.
Great on rainy days when they can't go out.
Oh, it's the best. But so people think, it's amazing. Wow, I could take my phone or keys, hide it somewhere, dog will come and find it. But it's really not more amazing than you saying to me, well, where's the candy dish? Because we're visual. Well, it's there. I see the candy dish.
I always know where that is.
Well, you always know where the candy dish is, but even where's that pillow, right?
Right.
Because we're visual. Well, it's very obvious to us. But it's very obvious by scent to a dog. That's where they live.
So I have a fenced-in yard, so in the morning I let Cabela out and, I'll still watch what she does. She'll go to the farthest corner of the yard. She'll squat and poop. But as she's doing it, she's staring my way or kind of looking around a little bit, but pretty much knows that I guess I'm around, senses that I watch her. It's just the routine. Why is she staring at me when she's going to the bathroom? Like, is she waiting for my reaction? I don't know.
She might be. You'd have to ask her. But, dogs are animals. Animals are keyed into their primary need of survival. And they're pretty vulnerable when they're taking a dump. They need to be aware of their surroundings.
So let me ask then. When I'm in the bathroom, doing whatever, she's always in there with me. And when I have other dogs boarding here too, I'll go to the bathroom and sometimes 4 or 5 dogs will squeeze in there and just be like, hello. Do they feel I'm vulnerable because I'm using the toilet?
Well,
I don't know.
Maybe, but again, it goes back to we were talking about being keyed into scent is one thing. Another thing is...
You're brave.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, don't you find, or I think maybe people find, they follow you around a lot anyway? I mean, they're happening to follow you into the bathroom.
True.
But dogs tend to follow us around They're
That's another
social
question.
animals.
Why do they follow us around all the time?
They're
What do we do?
social animals. I think some dogs, get a little too wrapped up in that and, might have some separation anxiety and might want to be around all the time. And then that dog needs help learning. How can I be maybe even a couple feet away and not literally right up your butt?
Kind of off the poop and the crotch sniffing subject. But do you ever notice how your dog's feet sometimes stink? And people refer to it as Cheetos or Fritos or corn chips.
And isn't that more, you might know more, Michelle, more the puppies tend to have sort of a distinctive odor to their pads. And then sometimes it actually, just thinking of things that I've heard, whatever, sometimes actually can have to do with worms sometimes. Is that true?
I'm not 100% sure of that, but there has been studies done, and there are some articles that I've read that do have something to do with that in puppies. I have to ask about that. Like him, I don't know everything.
Yeah,
Even though I have some letters behind my name, I don't know everything.
But we can find out.
But we can find out.
We can find out. You ever watch Beekman's World?
Yes! I love that show.
I love Beekman. So here's, I love Beekman. But the best thing out of you remember when he would do, like, people would send in the questions, and the best one the guy ever did, and it really was, I mean, he was funny, but he did good shit. So someone writes in, like, Dear Beekman, how do you know everything? And his answer was, I don't, but I know how to find out.
Yeah!
And then he showed you, well, how do you research? And this was, I think, back when he did it, you had to go to the card catalog. And,
Card catalog, oh God.
Another thing, just thinking about the question, is that we do know that dogs sweat through the pads of their feet.
Yes, they have sweat glands in.
Right.
Yep.
So we might get odors in other parts of our body. Dogs get it on the pads of their feet.
Yep. But they actually have, bacteria is what causes the odor, but it's actually good bacteria that helps protect the insides of their feet because they're obviously on the ground so much and walking through all different surfaces and come in with dirt, bacteria,
who knows what they've been
viruses,
stepping in,
things like that. So it's a protective measure. So just because your dog's feet kind of smell like Fritos sometimes, it's not really a bad thing.
Your feet don't always smell like daisies either, let's face it. So.
That's true.
I actually don't know everything, but I do hope that some of this information is useful for people. And if it is, or even if you just think we're kind of funny, please like, comment, subscribe.